Okay, and let's hear another song from the record. This one's called "Open the Door." Once again, we have Henry Wolfe and the band with us in the Soundcheck studio, and this is from the new album called Linda Vista, live performance on Soundcheck.
All right. Open up the door and let me in. You've gone overboard and I can't swim. We all have a side we try to hide. I've got mine, I've got mine. So open up the door and let me in. What's the use of in the wind? I'll always be the same, I've always been. I can't tell a forest from a tree, but if you please, open up the door and let me in. Open up the door and let me in. Open up the door and let me in. There will come a day when you decide that I have trespassed one too many times. Until then, baby, take me as I am. I'm your man, I'm your man. So open up the door and let me in. Open up the door and let me in. Open up the door and let me in. Oh.
That, once again, is Henry Wolfe, live performance with his band in the Soundcheck studio. Open the Door is the name of the song. The record is called Linda Vista, which, as Henry was telling us just a few minutes ago, is the area where the studio is, where you made the record.
Yeah, and the studio is also in just an absolutely beautiful place on the top of a hill, sort of near the Rose Bowl, and the view was incredible, and the place really inspired the sound and the vibe of the record. So I thought it was appropriate to name it that.
So is this a chicken and egg thing? Did the songwriting change when you moved from New York to California, or did you move from New York to California thinking that it might somehow be a better fit for where you were going?
It was a little of both, I'd say. When I moved to California, I was pleasantly surprised to find a lot of great songwriters who were inclined to a similar aesthetic that I am, and so I sort of fell into a nice group of people there.
Mm. You know, earlier in the program, we were talking with Michael Azarat about the rise of indie music, and we had the caller who phoned in and said, I always thought of indie as whiny college kids, strumming guitars and stuff. Do you consider yourself an indie artist? Because we had that whole discussion. What is indie these days?
Well, I can say that I listen to more indie rock than I do modern singer-songwriters. And I'm more influenced by that strain of contemporary music. I listen to a lot of singer-songwriters from, sort of the period between like 1970, say, and 1983. That's what I've been into kind of obsessively for the last couple years.
So who would that be? Like Jackson Browne, Carole King?
Well, recently Todd Rundgren and Jerry Rafferty, and particularly for this record, Harry Nilsson and Paul McCartney's early solo stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I understand you've also been actually listening to things that go even further back and which are, truly underground. I mean, to make the indie connection, namely songs by your grandfather.
Yeah, well, I shouldn't say that I've been listening to them because I can't find the tape that they're recorded on. He just recorded it like he was forced by my mom and her brothers to record it because he was very shy about that part of his life when he was a songwriter. But there's a tape around
what was his day
somewhere.
job?
He was a salesman for Merck.
The pharmaceutical company.
Yeah. And I think that was something that he did after trying for 5-10 years to make a living as a songwriter. But at the time it was like he was just trying to get his songs sold, and I think the competition was pretty good when you think about the people who are running songs.
Yeah. But it just goes to show there have always been indie musicians out there.
Right.
There's always been people working around the edges. So you think you'll maybe resurrect some of those songs at some point?
I think so. Yeah, I want to do an album of his songs.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll look forward to that. In the meantime, Henry Wolfe is performing Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. at Joe's Pub here in town. And Henry, nice to have you here with the band. Thanks for playing for us today.
Thank you, John. Thank you. I'd like to just add that the song we played, Open the Door, the video just premiered today on Mashable.com. So
all right,
check
so
it
you
out.
can watch it as well. And you can also find a link on the Soundcheck page, wnyc.org/soundcheck.
Used to be I only played the songs you wrote. Well, I learned every single little word by rote. But these days
That'll do it for today's show. On our next program, the tradition of country music songs about women who've had it up to here with men and are ready to take it out on a lover's pickup truck. Plus a live performance from country singer Laura Cantrell. And you can watch videos of recent in-studio performances from people like Peter, Bjorn and John, the Swedish pop trio, or the jazz pianist Omar Sosa, or others at wnyc.org/soundcheck. Our technical director is Irene Trudell, our engineer today, Paul Schneider. The program produced by Katie McPherson and Greta Cohn. Our senior producer is Joel Meyer, and I'm John Schaefer. Thanks for listening to WNYC On Demand. Please check out our other programs at wnyc.org or on iTunes. This free service is made possible by our listeners. Become a member of WNYC today.